Speedway. It's one of the reasons why I love motor racing so much. Before I could even walk, I was going to the Sydney Showground with my mum and dad, and then in later years to Liverpool and here at Parramatta City Raceway. Bikes or cars, it didn't really matter, but there was something that was really appealing about speed cars. A lot of people probably don't realise, Daz, that Speedway was actually a very special part of your racing career.
It's pretty much where it all started, Rusty. You know, the ovals like this. I grew up in Brisbane, the Archerfield Speedway, racing mini bikes amongst these guys in the main feature races. I was 10 years old. You know, the methanol smell, it's where I started. It's where I wanted to go with my career. I wanted to race Speedway in England. I was underage when I first started. They kicked me out. So then I went road racing and my whole career changed.
Today we're going to get you back on the clay, this time on four wheels. Mark Brown, one of the best speed car drivers in the country, has very kindly, maybe some would say madly, decided to loan us his car, and you're going to go for a blast. That's awesome. I'm excited. I've got sweaty palms and feet and chill up my spine, but yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I'm sure the acceleration is going to be amazing. Let's do it. Let's go. While Daz is preparing for his first run, I thought we'd take a quick walk down memory lane. This is one of the all-time great race cars. It's Tony Saylor's 1948 Offenhauser, built in Illinois and raced here very successfully by the legendary American Bob Tattersall in the 1960s. Len Brock, Jeff Freeman and three-time national champion Johnny Stewart all raced her, but it was the Tattersall dynasty that really kick-started a golden era in Australian speed car racing.
The drivers were absolute heroes, competing in cars with little or no safety features in an unforgiving cauldron. And while the machines have evolved, much of the tradition proudly remains unchanged.
This is your in and out gear cable here.
Yep.
Right, that'll lock it in gear.
Yep.
Make sure you just give it a twist so it's locked in.
Sure.
Okay, the next thing we need to know is basically the main fuel tap here.
Yep.
Just down, which is on.
Yep.
Basically from there on, we've got the push car behind you. He pushes your way, left foot hard on the brake, keep the wheels from spinning.
Yep.
When you think you've got a little bit of speed, let the brake off. The diff will start turning over, and then all of a sudden we're moving along, the motor's moving along. And the next step is wait for the oil pressure to come up.
Sure.
And basically once the oil pressure's up, just hit these two switches and you're away.
Okay, mate, you right to go? Do it! It's precious!
Sensitive on the throttle. Got my foot up quite high to feel the throttle. Car naturally wants to turn left.
You just got up a little bit high that time,
yeah.
But your middle of the track all the way around was good. If you want to, you can move down a little bit in this corner and you'll feel it. Like, that's when it was twitchy. You notice when you were twitchy a few times?
The bike more.
But the higher you went, it was a lot slicker and you felt like you were in control then and it looked like you were enjoying yourself.
Yeah, it's great. I just feel like I don't know if you've got to commit more to keep it in or less. But
to me, what I can tell, you've got great foot control, and that's all it's all about, really.
Okay.
You seem to know what the car wants to do, and you're a natural.
The speed car is also commonly called a midget. Unlike its big brother, the sprint car, the wings have been clipped and the V8 engine replaced with a four-cylinder. All sorts of power plants are specifically manufactured for this class. Most are derived from the big brands, Chev, Ford and Darryl's favourite Mopar. This car runs a 360 horsepower 2.7 litre engine called a Hawk. Built by Steve Smith in Newcastle, it's become a great Aussie export. NASCAR star Tony Stewart now runs Hawk engines in his midget and he races regularly. All the cars run a healthy dose of stagger. Minimum weight, 410 kilos. Price, anywhere from 80 to 100 grand.
Nothing like a bit of pressure. I'm going to put the clock on you this time.
oh, thanks.
You ready?
I am. It's fantastic. I guess it's the unknown, and you always want to spend more time. But it's a great experience, and I guess can't thank Mark enough. You know, it's a great experience.
Go get him 5 days.
Control and his hand to feet coordination was brilliant, and I'd really like to see him in a race. I mean, I think he'd do all right.
We'll keep you posted, let you know if that happens. For the record, Daz turned around 25 laps on the day. His best effort was 1.5 seconds off the PCR track record for this class. How exhilarating was it to drive?
It's great. I've got to thank you and Mark Brown for giving me the opportunity. It was a whole new experience. I'm used to two wheels, so the whole four-wheel world was different. I've done the V8 thing before. The power-to-weight ratio is fantastic, probably a little bit better than a V8. But being on a dirt oval like that and the corners, 16-second laps, it's fast.
We talked about stagger in the story. In other words, the difference in size between the tyres on the left and right-hand side of the car, in this case the rears. Just explain that a bit more.
Well, you can really feel it when you get pushed, by you in the car, but you take off and it wants to turn left all the time. And after a while, when you got it flat for the whole way around, you just kind of literally let go of the steering wheel and the car sets into a slide, which is good. But they adjust it throughout the night when the track's wetter or dry. The stagger changes in inches, the more stagger or less stagger to keep it low in the turn. But, you're really full. It doesn't like going in a straight line at all. One
aspect of the story that impressed both you and I is this fantastic Hawk engine, an Australian engine that's now the choice of some of the key US racers.
It's beautiful. You look at the front of the car, it's a half a V8. It's just got the 4 cylinders on the one side. Proud to be an Australian. Tony Stewart, who's a 2 times Nextel Cup NASCAR champion, won with this engine in America amongst, those 300 cars. So, it's great to see an Australian engine up against all the top guys in the US.
Our thanks to Daz and our thanks to the staff at Parramatta City Raceway, Mark Brown and his team, the Speedcar Association and Gordon Benny, who's done a remarkable job on the restoration of Tony Saylor's Magic Offenhauser. Now, as far as what's coming up here on 10 Sport, a quick reminder.